You have a new song out called Rock Bottom. Talk about the message behind it.
So for me, rock bottom is it's a really important message to me because a lot of my music prior to rock bottom is a little bit more about the experience of dealing with mental illness and how heavy it weighs on your mind and difficult experiences. And I thought it was important to kind of shed a little bit of light on that experience and how some of that darkness can really lead to the most important inspiration of your life and learning how to take those experiences and make the most out of them. And in my own experience, I feel like the universe, energy, those things are very real. And sometimes when you're not following the path that maybe is best serving you, I
Mhm.
feel like that the universe and that energy really comes into just like the one of my lines in the song says, it says, if you're not going where you have to, the universe will drag you until you hit the ground. So kind of like get your ish together. This is not the direction you're supposed to go. Like maybe take this experience and go somewhere else where you're actually supposed to be, where you actually will flourish, where you'll meet new people, where you'll find new inspiration. So just kind of taking that from those negative experiences.
It's quite inspirational. What kind of response have you been receiving from your fans on social media?
Um, it's been really great. About 99% of people are really excited about it. I haven't released new music in a while, so people are excited to see what's coming and that I'm still alive. And there's also the other 1% where it's like just because it has I feel like a pop beat, sometimes people look over the message just because it has that upbeat vibe. But just in my opinion, just because something has an upbeat vibe doesn't mean that there's not an important message in it. So that's been kind of interesting because I haven't really released anything like it before. So I was really excited to see. But most people have been extremely supportive and have gotten the message, and yeah, it's been great.
I know this is a single off your upcoming EP, More Than I Am. What are some themes that you'll be going through and discussing with fans through your music?
Yeah, so they all kind of connect into that same realm of what I was talking about, where I just feel like it's important to shed some light on those negative experiences, because as I've gotten older and have developed a little bit more, like mentally developed, I can now look back on those experiences and see how it led me to where I am and how I wouldn't have had it any other way. And the songs moving forward, they are about exploring that darkness, those dark feelings, not running from it. That's another big theme for me because sometimes I feel like positive messages kind of overlook the darkness. But for me, I want to dig deeper into that. I want to find uh, a piece of myself in that darkness, and so that's kind of what I'm trying to do with these next upcoming songs. And it touches a little bit on that, the more spiritual side of myself with energy and the universe, and just it's a little existential, I guess I would say.
There's so many amazing songs on this, and the Rock Bottom single you have out now is incredibly inspirational. What are some of your personal favorite songs that you have on this EP, or do they all seem to touch you in a different way because they all express a different emotion that you have been feeling?
Yeah, so they definitely all have a special place in my heart. Rock Bottom was kind of the starter to all of this, kind of the beginning. And then the next song coming out will be called Alleyways. And that is kind of about accepting that you're at rock bottom. So rock bottom is like, okay, like this is rock bottom. And then Alleyways is like, well, what is rock bottom? You know, kind of like exploring that darkness and finding yourself in it a little bit. And then the last song is definitely my I think it's my favorite song because it's kind of like it wraps everything together in such a like I'm saying the word existential a lot, but in an existential way, because I think when you think about it, um, no matter who you are, no matter where you live, you have such a small percentage of even existing, like being alive right now. Um, so it's kind of about finding the beauty in that experience, in the human experience, and I through writing these songs, I've found it to be such an honor to be alive and to have these experiences. And so those songs kind of touch on that.
Oh my goodness. It sounds like a very cathartic experience for you then to fully flesh
Mm-hmm.
out this EP. Was there a song then that challenged you maybe more emotionally or even lyrically or musically uh, when creating it?
Let's see. I feel like creatively Rock Bottom was definitely the most difficult for me because it was out of my I guess my comfort zone in terms of like I'm used to more slow not slow but more a little darker songs, and so I was like everybody else, I guess, in a way where it's like, oh, because this song is upbeat, it can't be as hard hitting, as meaningful, you know. But I really wanted to challenge myself and get out of that headspace because it's just not true. And so that was a little bit difficult at first, but once I got into it a little bit more, it was really fun and a really good experience. And then I think intellectually, the one that challenged me the most was the last song coming out on the EP. Uh, it it was intellectually challenging because I kind of touch on how I've built this career, I guess you could say, or this I've built my musical discography on my struggles, on the darkness that I've dealt with in my life. And that fear of if I move on from that, if I become happy, find the light within myself, will people still find me interesting? Will I still be inspirational? You know, can I still be inspirational? So it that song was very intellectually challenging in that way because I think I was working through those thoughts as I was writing it.
When it comes to songwriting, do you need to have lyrics first? Do you work and flesh those out had, before you combine it with music, or does the music tend to flow and then you're like, okay, this is how I'm feeling when I listen to it, and you add the lyrics after?
It definitely depends on the song, but most of the time I will create like just a beat first. I actually produce as well. So oftentimes I will just create a very like simple beat slash melody, and then it's nice because then I can just put it on loop and kind of word vomit whatever I'm feeling or whatever I'm thinking. And then other times it's like I have a really cool line stuck in my head that I'll write a song and a beat around. And then other times it's like I mesh them together, you know, where it's like I'll be creating a production and I'm like, oh, I don't really know what lyrics to put here. And then I'll go through my notes and then I'll find, you know, that line that I was inspired to write like a month ago and think, oh, that fits really well here. And that's really cool too.
So you do tend to have a lot of it sounds like you have a big hand when it comes to the production side of your music. Is that a typical aspect of something and very important for you?
Yes, absolutely. I feel like when I was younger, it wasn't emphasized. The people around me didn't emphasize production, and as I started working with producers, I fell in love with the art, And two, sometimes I just felt like no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't communicate what was in my head. And so it kind of developed out of necessity to communicate what I wanted to hear, what I wanted my song to sound like. And so now the process usually starts with me producing a draft of what I want to hear. It's definitely not as, I guess, fine tuned as a lot of professional producers would produce, but I'm working really hard to try and get to that level.
Well, it sounds like the fans are really loving your music, so I think that's a good pat on the back for you. So at least give
Thank
yourself
you.
some credit there as well.
Thank you.
What do you hope listeners take away then from exploring this new EP? I know it's not coming here till the new year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I so I felt extremely inspired to write this EP, mostly because of my listeners, because of the people who tend to listen to my songs. I Something I didn't expect when I first started releasing music was that people were not just going to go on my YouTube and comment, "Wow, this is such a good song." People were messaging me long messages about what they were going through in their life and how my songs affected them, um and I took that. I It was an honor, and I respected it so greatly, and I wanted to make sure that I communicated that life isn't just doom and gloom, because I feel like sometimes people could potentially interpret my songs that way, and from some of the messages and what people were dealing with, I felt the need to also share that inspiration, share that light with people in a way that wasn't, I guess, tone deaf or toxic positivity. It's a very real way of experiencing the joys of life with the dark of life.
It's a beautiful, beautiful EP, and I think that a lot of people are going to tell you more and more as the music does release here coming in the new year, that it resonates with them so much, especially with the end of the year here, especially with the year we've had. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure they're excited for this new music to come out, and I know they'll be able to really truly connect with it. Do you
I
have
hope
any
so.
plans to be touring to promote the music soon? Your EP coming up here?
I don't have any shows in place, but yes, I would absolutely love to. That's kind of the goal.
It's the goal of any musician is to step on stage and hear what the fans' immediate reaction is to the music
Yeah.
that you make. I'm curious. Is there someone you would love to collaborate with on a song in the future? A dream collab you have in mind?
A dream collab. I have so many that are in the, I don't know, different sides of my creativity. I think I would love to collaborate with Bon Iver. That would probably be my dream. I just think that we kind of have some similar writing styles, and so I think it would be really cool. And then on more of like the production side and just fun, uh, Brockhampton or anybody from Brockhampton, like Kevin Abstract. I think they're, oh my gosh, they are creative geniuses. So there's a few for sure.
We got to keep our fingers crossed and that the new year brings all of these
Mhm.
manifests all of these great artists to work with you.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
What would you like to say then to everyone who are fans and supporters of the beautiful music that you make?
Um, I just like to say thank you so much for sticking by me. It has been really a difficult year or a few years for me and for everybody else. And I appreciate the grace that everybody has left for me to create and to find myself a little bit more. And I hope that my songs, the new songs coming out, that it really resonates with you all and that you take the messages to heart truly and deeply.
It sounds like these are songs so that I think you're not going to have that much of a problem with people truly feeling it deep down in their hearts. This is such a
Thank,
beautiful EP to come, and I'm excited for people to get to hear it here in 2023.
thank you so much. Me too. I'm excited.